Here's how to set up your satellite kit rental. First thing to do once you receive your satellite kit rental is to confirm you have all the items. The satellite dish itself, the short stand for the dish, the Wi-Fi router, an Ethernet adapter for a hardline connection, and a power cord for the router, as well as a 75-foot cable that goes from the dish to the router. And last but not least, an iPad mini, which will have the satellite app already installed. And of course, the Pelican case to transport the satellite kit. Now onto the actual setup itself. So the Pelican case does have a built-in hole for you to be able to place the actual satellite dish inside, as shown here. Or you also have the option to place it in that small tripod stand we showed earlier. So the first thing we're going to do, as shown here, is give power to the router. You're going to take the power cord and you're going to put this end of the port into the router. And once that's plugged in, you're going to plug it in to your power source. Next up, shown here, we're taking the 75-foot cable and the Ethernet adapter and plugging it in first. Then once that's plugged in, you're going to plug in one end of that 75-foot cable into the router as shown here. It should fit snugly just like this. Once that's plugged in, you're going to take the other end of the 75-foot cable, and you're going to know which end it is because it's going to look a bit different. The end that went into the router had a parallelogram shape. The other end is just going to be this straight shaft that is going to go right inside of the satellite dish, as shown here. And once that's fitting in snug, you're going to go ahead and place it right back into the tripod stand. Once you have completed these steps, you should be all ready and set to use your satellite kit. It's important to note that this setup is intended to be done outside and stationary, with no trees or obstructions in sight. Please also note on the back of the router, you should see a yellow label which has the SSID as well as the password to connect to the actual router itself. It's also important to note that the satellite dish must be stowed through the app before it can be placed back in its case. If you do not properly stow the dish, you may not be able to fit the dish back into the case. Once the dish is back in the case, take one last inventory check when getting ready to return the equipment.